Hey, it's Kimberly Buffington with Mercy Works based right here in Detroit, Michigan. And I want to share with you a story really quickly about one of the families that we've been able to impact with the ministry that we've done through our Nourish Detroit food program. I met Nikki when I lived on the east side. There was about 2 years where I lived in a really rough neighborhood on Detroit's east side. And that particular block had a lot of kids on it, I remember that, and a lot of young moms. And Nikki was one of those young moms. And I found her and came to know her as a friend shortly after she had gotten out of a drug treatment program. And she had 3 children. She was 25. And she was getting her life back together. And it had been a rather slow process, as for most recovering addicts, getting back into life, getting a job, getting back in to deal with the pressures of life, which is part of the reason their life broke down to begin with, is challenging. And when she had gone into rehab, because of her drug problems, her children had been turned over to her mother for care, and they were now, her mother had full custody of them. Well, her mother shows up on her doorstep about 2 weeks after she gets settled in the neighborhood with her kids, drops her kids off, and says, "They're yours, you take care of them." The problem was Nikki didn't have full custody of them, and at the time she was living on government aid in part and working part-time and trying to get a better paying job. And she found herself in a very precarious situation because her mom had the card that we call in Michigan the bridge card, which is what they put the government aid on for food for families. And her mom kept that card, gave her kids, but kept the card. And so she didn't have any way of getting food and getting government aid for food until the custody was awarded back to her. And her mother fought her for custody of her own children, even though the children weren't living with her mother. She just lied and said that they were. Those are the kind of stories that I hear more often than I want to hear. Very complex situations that families are facing. And so here's Nikki with 3 children, a part-time job that paid less than $10 an hour, on government assistance, and she can't get food for her kids. So what we were able to do is give her 2 bags of groceries every single week, and we did that for over 2 years. And Nikki was able to take that gift week after week after week, and you know what it gave her? It gave her peace of mind. It took the stress off because she didn't have to figure out how to feed her kids. She knew how she was going to feed her kids every single week. And that's the beauty of what we do with our Nourish Detroit food program. We give people peace of mind, and we give them the kind of support that empowers them to get off assistance. And today Nikki is off assistance. She doesn't need it anymore. She's gotten some education, and she's gotten a better paying job. And she got support from some other friends that have helped her. And so she's doing well. And she hasn't gone back to drugs. And she's raising her children. And her children are nourished and were nourished because the Nourish Food Program came to help them. Nikki is one of our success stories. We have many of them, and we want to have many more. So I'm going to ask you to help us during this time, during the summer months, to either make a donation online at mercyworks.net or be a part of our Shop for a Cause fundraiser. And you can go on to mercyworks.net, click on the Shop for a Cause tab, and buy as many coupons for $5 each as you want to buy, and know that every single dollar goes to help us feed families like Nikki's family and give them a hand up out of poverty. Thanks for your help. We really appreciate it. God bless.